Back in here, one more reaction video, ladies and gentlemen. And I got a good one for you today. So I've been up watching this documentary titled Sex Madness. It was released in 1995. It is on the YouTube channel, the Semen Retention Club. I'll link the channel and the link to this documentary below. But man, a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge on there. And I think the masses need to hear stuff like this, especially the youth that have been brainwashed with these new age weirdo concepts that sex work is real work, and that your semen isn't your life force, and the more you deplete yourself, the less energy you have. But we're gonna dispel a lot of narratives in this video today. And if this is your first time to the channel, get on in here. As I love to say, we are simply spirits in case of human flesh. That's all I promise. Trying to figure out this thing called life, not nearly as divided nor as demonic as the mainstream media and these social media algorithms try to make it seem every single day. And I think we all would agree that the whole purpose of life is to learn, grow, and evolve. So if you dig what you hear in this video, share far and wide. And also check out the book Sex and Culture by J.D. Unwin that was published in 1934.
That this irony was unintentional is, to me, one of the scariest things in this entire presentation. The scariest, however, are the simple facts of where all this has led us.
72% of the teenagers say they want to copy what they see in sexually explicit or violent films. In fact, several studies have shown that 22% of teenage crime is directly related to what they see in violent movies and television programs. There have been over 3,000 studies done in this regard, and the studies are just conclusive on
According to numerous studies of teenage sexuality, America's youth increasingly view sexual behavior as a matter of personal choice. They look to the media and their peers for appropriate sexual practices. Youth believe that they are entitled to have sex.
They look to the media. What's the media promoting the kids? Oh. See, I don't get into the debate whether someone is born gay, or born trans, or any of that stuff, because I ain't got no dog in that fight. I don't know. But what I can say is the images that are shown to you, they play a huge role in the things you gravitate towards. And I think we can all agree on that. And the youth of this generation right now, they're seeing more lesbian, gay, and all that stuff, and not just on TV, but on their cell phones. And I think it said 1 in 5 kids identify as LGBT or whatever. And you have to wonder what will be the long-term effects of that. A lot of people are anti-artificial intelligence and technology, but if everybody's living these alternative lifestyles and they're no longer having children reproducing, then the robots are going to need to work for Amazon and UPS, and they don't need to pay you $15, $20 an hour because the robots don't require any money. So all of these things are connected, and I'm not here to tell anybody how to feel. It's just to have a platform to have an open discussion with individuals around the world who have a different perspective than me. And cancel culture is real. So if you say something on social media, they block your account. I mean, YouTube may censor this, so we can't really have an open discussion. But it'd be cool to hear from somebody who's pro-sex, a sex positive, a sex worker, a kid. I jumped off the porch really young, being sexually active. And I have 10 children. So I can speak from that perspective. But I would love to hear someone else's perspective of what they've been through in their life. A virgin, a monk, all of it. The more we talk, the more we communicate, the more we can evolve as human beings. So I love you all. Thank you for watching my content.
And the popular culture seems to support their beliefs. The popular media's message has come home to roost with a vengeance. Well over half of today's unmarried teens between the ages of 15 and 19 are sexually active. In a survey of almost 20,000 teens by Sassy Magazine, 16 was agreed upon as the best age to lose one's virginity.
Where's Tommy Page? Tell him his love slave is ready to fulfill his every wish.
And in the comments below, let's see how honest we could be. Comment how old you was when you lost your virginity. I was 14. And being a father now with a 14-year-old daughter, that's way too young. That's way, way, way too young. Mentally, physically, none of that. I wasn't ready to be living that life. But let me know in the comments how old you was and what age you think. Because I can't even say what the appropriate age is. At 21, I was still immature, for real. At 25, I still was immature. I'm still learning it right now. So y'all let me know in the comments below. Let's discuss this.
And among evangelical young people, the situation is scarcely improved. 43% have had sex by age 18, and 36% are not able to state that sexual intercourse is morally wrong outside of marriage. And of course, all this sexual activity now comes at a cost that goes well beyond the terrible spiritual and emotional damage immorality wreaks upon an individual. Today, 1 out of every 7 teenagers this next year will acquire a sexually transmitted disease. A generation ago, there were 5 such diseases. Today, there are over 50. Several are incurable, and at least 2 are fatal.
It's over 50 STDs. Holy moly guacamole. And sex is something that everybody does, but it's not conversated about. The R&B music talks about it. The rappers talk about it. It's a sex scene in almost every movie. When we kids and we watching our little teenage TV shows, everybody got a crush or a boyfriend or girlfriend, and they experienced their first kiss. But there's never like real life discussions. Like, all right, this is how you properly put a condom on. This like all these things that we should be educated in. Like why not? It shouldn't be weird to have a conversation about life and procreation. On the other side of that, sometimes I and this is why I love making these videos. Hopefully somebody out here who don't think these conversations are weird. But is sex just for creating life, or is it for a recreational activity? That I guess that's up to the individual to determine. I do know when I was the most sexually active, just sleeping with random individuals, I was the most broken. I was the most depressed. My anxiety was the worst. I didn't have confidence in myself. And maybe because I was just shooting seed left and right and never gave my body time to regenerate and to heal. But being married, you can't be reckless like that. And I got kids, so I got to be a daddy and work a full-time job, so I can't be a reckless young man no more. But I feel better than ever. My energy levels are higher than ever. My skin is up. It's clear. My hair grow back real fast. My nails grow long. I don't know. I just feel good. And I think when you lay down with individuals, you do absorb their energy. Y'all can let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with that. But I can remember times that I'm a real happy person, dog. But I can remember like laying down with a girl, and then a few days later, just my attitude be real bad, and I just be real irritable and angry. And I'm like, what's wrong with me? And it's like I be feeling like I done picked up another person's energy. And they say, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. But if all you thinking about is laying down with random women and you ain't accomplishing no goals, no dreams. And I say it a lot, you don't know a distraction is a distraction until it's completed its job distracting you. And the future is bright for young men and young women of this world. I was once one of y'all. And I could have went the basketball route, or I could have went and followed the chicks. And I did. And as I said, I have 10 children. 2 are deceased, 2 baby mamas and a wife. Still dealing with child support issues while making this video. The state of Texas just took $10,000 from me. There are consequences for your actions. But in the moment, you feel like you win. And as a young woman, you getting all these trips from these men and you getting these bags. But then you got babies. And then they get murdered because ain't no longevity in living a fast life. And then you got to figure out how to take care of this kid, and you on some city high. What would you do if your son was at home? But what's being promoted by the sexy red and the Sukianas of the world, who they actors, the world is a stage. They don't live that lifestyle for real, but they gonna push it on you and your children. So if like this is 95, what you think the numbers is now in 2024? 51.5% of rappers die in homicide. And look at the homicide rate all around the world. What you think these young boys is listening to when they going to shoot at somebody or when they get into a beef? I guarantee you it ain't Chris Stapleton. You're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. So, and the other side of that is we can't expect the Hollywood and the mainstreams to change. Like they're gonna continue to push out negative content because there's no money in a healthy family and a healthy society. But I need mom and dad not to get along so they can live in two different houses. I need the kid to be depressed so they can go to therapy. Mama can go to the club. Daddy can go to the bar. We need to hire a babysitter at that point. Then we need a divorce attorney. Then we need a child support attorney. It's all to extract your wealth from you. That's why I say find somebody you can really vibe with and make it happen. Because the best things in life are free. And society wants you broke, weak, with anxiety, depression, not believing in yourself, not loving yourself. And it throws sex at you at a really young age. Like I said, I was 14 when I began being sexually active. And I went from sleeping with one girl to the whole neighborhood. But now that I love myself, I don't want to just give myself to anybody because that don't even make sense. And the way it's promoted to us, like I was listening to a Kevin Gates podcast, and he said he's not even sexually active like that. He used his pent up sexual energy to make his music be so graphic and so nasty. So what would happen to you if you use your pent up sexual energy? As a young man, I never got into porn. Our lights was off. I never got into the habit of masturbation. I was really laying down with women, and I know the music tries to make it seem like it's cool to have side chicks and this girl and that girl, but man, it's stressful. Having girls show up to your job, show up at your mama house, show up at your house, pull knives out on you, pull guns out on you, key your car up, call your job trying to get you fired. Dude, it is not what Hollywood try to make it seem. I promise. So if you were guard your body, guard your mind, because your energy, your life force, young man or young woman, older man or older woman, because we all out here living this same life. And if you can control yourself sexually, man, you've reached a new level of discipline, because it is, especially in today's society, it has been thrown at you on every billboard, every movie, every time you open your phone. I don't even follow girls no more. Not in a beef way. I don't need to see ass cheeks and tits every time I open my phone. I don't need to leak energy like that. I need to preserve my energy so if something pop off for real, I can be ready to go.
That this irony was unintentional is, to me, one of the scariest things in this entire presentation. The scariest, however, are the simple facts of where all this has led us.
That 72% of the teenagers say they want to copy what they see in sexually explicit or violent films. In fact, several studies have shown that 22% of teenage crime is directly related to what they see in violent movies and television programs. There have been over 3,000 studies done in this regard, and the studies are just conclusive on the fact that
3,000 studies. Like I said, I'll link to this documentary below. But if you have read the documentary read the book, I'm sorry, Sex and Culture by J.D. Owen, he said the more sexual freedom a country gets, the more they decline every area. And then Manning Johnson has his farewell speech that you should also listen to. And I can't remember the guy's name is Yuri or Yusef. He was like the KGB agent that said the goal was to make Americans so immoral that they couldn't tell the truth from a lie. There's a book by, I can't remember his name, but it's called Rules for Radicals. Like all these things tie together, but they happen 20 years apart. So nobody's ever to say, oh, that's because of that. And I just sit back and I just study and I observe. And I'm a sex positive person, but I think it should be done responsibly. And I do think that men should value their energy, especially right now where they talk about that, a lot of these young men ain't had sex this year and it's hard for them to get girls. If I'm being 100% honest, I don't know what that lifestyle is like, but I do know, man, you got all the free time in the world. You should be in the greatest shape. You should write a book. You should know how to cook. You should know how to change a tire, fix your oil, take the radiator. I mean, there's an abundance of information out here. So don't sit around waiting on a girl to give you some acknowledge. Go look in the mirror and realize that you're a spirit encased in human flesh. You are God's child. So no matter what you look like, young man, you are perfect. And if you don't like your body, you got the power to work to change it. God gave you all the tools you need to be successful when you popped out of mama. So you got to stop looking for a young woman to validate you and go validate yourself. Become so great that they want to talk to you. And to the young ladies, it's kind of like different for y'all, because you could be a girl in high school with 200,000 followers. You can have, be Angela Reese and you win a basketball championship and Drake and Future and all these rappers, reach out to you. But the goal isn't to find a man who wants to talk to you for a day or a week or a month or 6 months. It's to find a man who wants to talk to you for the rest of your life. And me personally, the faster I've slept with a woman, the less time I've wanted to spend with that woman. And you will lose some dudes. That's just G. But anybody who really wants you will value you and value the way you carry yourself. And that ain't really what the narrative the world is getting. They just saying women are trash and men are trash. And I'm looking at the kids and I see hope for the future. I see parents that starting to protect their children from the media. I see kids that don't want to be on dating apps. I see young men really trying to search knowledge and wisdom and not just play video games. That may be a certain subset of the generation, but the kids, I'm around some young kids. I train high schoolers. I talk to college boys to play basketball. I'm just around a lot of children. And so I'm getting their perspective on the world. And it's not as negative as what the internet tries to make it seem. If you go to your grocery store or your local Walmart right now, you'll see married couples in there. The goal is to get you to be old and lonely and by yourself. And I'm not saying everybody needs to be married. I'm not saying everybody needs to be a parent. But I'm saying you need to do what makes you happy and don't follow the narratives of the world. Because this world don't care about you. That's all. I love you all. Have a super mega awesome day. Never be too proud to pray. Believe in yourself. Love yourself. Work on yourself. For yourself. By yourself. And understand if God is with you, it really don't matter who's against you. We outie, baby. Peace.